Hey guys, it's Maymay, and guess what? We are participating in Operation Valentine again. I'm super excited. We did this last year. This is a sweet little girl named Melissa who does this. Her and her sister, they collect cards and they take them to their children's hospital, which I believe she said is one of the 8th largest in the United States. It may even be the second. I don't remember exactly, but she gives all the details in her video, and this goes straight to the children that are there either in ICU or in the outpatient or there for a long period of time. And she has a set of rules we have to go by. You guys understand that anytime we're doing this for children or for military or anything like that, there's a pretty strict set of rules. And she has all of those laid out in her YouTube video and in the description. I'm going to link that video below. Now, if you're wondering how to find it, if you'll look below this video, if you're watching on YouTube, it'll say show more. Click show more and that'll open my description box, and that's where you'll find all the information. So the good thing is it means we get to make some really fun kids Valentines. And I'm going to give you a little bit of inspiration today with one that I saw on Pinterest. Now, as part of Operation Valentine, there's also a contest that you can win. There are 4 prizes, I think. There may be 5. I have given a prize, and then I think she has 4 more. I could be wrong. Again, watch her video. It'll explain it. But she's asking that you send 6 cards as your entry. That way they know they get plenty of cards for the kids in the hospital. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a whole piece of paper that I've cut in half. This is a piece of cardstock cut in half long ways. So this is going to make 2 A2 size cards. And that is what we're looking for. We want to make A2 size cards. The reason for that is at the hospital, the kids will get a little envelope or an envelope to put on their door so they can pass out Valentines to each other just like they would if they were in school. But those envelopes are only a certain size. And so anything over A2 might be too big. So she's asking that we stick to this size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 right now with one piece of paper. It'll be the same card, but you'll see how cute it turns out. So I'm scoring these at 5 1/2, and this is a thicker cardstock, so I'm running that down twice. And while I've got it in my scoreboard, I like to push the cards into that corner so I know I get a nice good square and then score it. There we go. So I got 2 card bases ready to go. Now this card we're going to make, I am totally scrap lifting from Pinterest and parents.com. I saw this on parents.com and I thought this is the cutest thing ever, and it would be easy to make a bunch of cards, so I have to show you. So I'm going to use 2 punches, actually 3. I'm going to use a 2-inch heart punch, and I'm going to use a 5-inch circle and a 3/8-inch circle. Now you don't have to use the very same ones I'm using. Look in your stash and use what you've got. You'll see how you can play with this card and make it work for anything. So I'm going to take the larger circle punch, and at the top section of this card, I'm going to push this in and poke a hole. So there's one, and I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other base as well. So I'm working 2 cards at a time. They don't have to be exact because they're not going to be going to the same person, but you want 2 little holes just like that. Now the next thing I want to do to these 2 cards is I want to trace that circle lightly in pencil just so I'll know where that circle is and where it lines up on the inside of the card. We're going to put an eyeball there. Now ideally, if you had some googly eyes, that would be the perfect thing to use here. But I didn't, so I'm going to improvise, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm taking some scrap of white, and I'm going to cut out 2 circles for the whites of his eyes. So there's that one. And then I'm going to take some black, and I'm really using a scrap here, and I'm going to poke little black holes for pupils. Perfect. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to punch our 2-inch heart. And I'm looking through this little paper pad, and I found the cutest plaid paper in here that I think would work for anyone, boy or girl. I knew I did. There it is. And I'm going to punch 2 little plaid hearts using my 2-inch heart punch. So I got these 2 little hearts, and they're going to live kind of in the middle of the page here. Now I dug into my stash and I found a stamp that I'm going to be able to use for this that is just a letter stamp. This is the letter U and an exclamation point. This came from an old Close to My Heart stamp set that I had. You actually could just write the word U. You wouldn't have to do this. But I thought since I have the stamp, this will be really cute. So with everything lined up, with my heart where it's going to go, my circle here, I'm going to stamp this U here. It's starting to make sense. We're going to put an I in here. So it's going to be I, love, and then you. Look how cute that is. This to me looks kind of like text, like if you were texting somebody. So I thought this would be super cute for kids. But in the original video I saw, they just wrote the word you, and it works just fine. Now these guys are going to get popped up on some foam squares. So I stuck the 2 little hearts down with the foam square, and now we're going to work on the inside. So you can see on the inside where we traced those 2 circles. That's important. We're going to need that for this stamping part. So I'm using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and the tater from my stamp set that is called Taters. Look how cute this is. Look at this tater. That's who we're going to use from here, and a sentiment from there as well. So I'm going to ink up my little tater dude, and I'm going to stamp around that circle. As long as I get my stamp all the way around that circle, I know it's not going to show through on the front, and that's what I'm looking for. So the circle is still on the inside there. So when I shut the card, this stamped image won't show. So I'm going to put a dot of glue in the center of both of those circles. Then I'm going to use my little pickup tool here and pick up one of the white circles and stick that inside. And then the second one. Then the same thing for the black. I'm just going to put a dot of glue on both eyes and put my little pupil there. He looks like a big one-eyed monster. I love this stamp set at Valentine's. I have got some videos from last year where I made him look like a little monster several times, and I will link that video because I think he is so fun to play with. Now from that same stamp set, there is little hands. So I'm going to ink up these little hands and put that off of my little tater monster dude. He could be a monster, he could be a tater, you name it. Then I'm going to use the other one, and just so he has kind of the feel of 2 hands, even though I don't think the other one's going to show very well, I'm going to stamp this off to the side as well. Since that's going to run off the page, I'm going to make sure I don't stamp it on top of the other one. Now he's got 2 arms, even though one goes off the page. Now, for even more fun, we're going to give him some feet. These feet are also included in the stamp set, and I think they are adorable. So I'm going to put 1 foot there, and then 1 foot in this area. Then I'm going to pick it up on 1 block so I can just stamp it 1 time. So adorable. All right, now for the sentiment on the inside from the same stamp set, I'm going to use the sentiment that says, I only have eyes for you. I think that is a cute sentiment for this little guy. And I'm just going to stamp it in this area. So there he is there. And then on the other side. Too cute. Now we're going to close this guy down. And look at this. How cute is this? With the little eyeball poking out the front. I love that. Let me crease these down again so they'll stay nice and shut, because we did open them back up. But look how cute. Now you can do some fun stuff. You know, once you get your cards made, you can play around, and you can take one of your pens or markers or whatever you got, and if you want to stitch line them, which everybody knows that's my favorite thing to do, you can do stitch lines around the cards. So I want to mention too, this is not my program that I'm doing. This is one that I'm just sponsoring with a giveaway and supporting. So it's important that you read Mel's post and you watch her video so you'll know all the rules and all the details. There's several things you can do and several things you can't do. So you want to make sure you read and pay attention to that. One of the things is we can't do religious themed. We can't do specific topics, like nothing military or like political, things like that. These are for kids, just to say somebody's thinking about you, and we hope you're having a lovely Valentine's Day. There's also some issues with like scent. You can't add perfume or dryer sheets or anything like that. So please be sure to watch her video and read her description box as well, so you'll know all the rules. You'll be well informed, and your cards will make it to those kids who need them. Look how cute these are. You could do so much more playing and making them any old way you want to, but I think this is adorable. The one thing I think I want to add, and this may mess up the whole thing, but I think these might be cute to have like eyelashes here. Even though we know it's not really the actual eye, I think it'll be cute on the outside to add these little eyelashes, and then when you open it up, there's a little monster or a tater, whatever you want to call him. So I love you. And look how cute is that. Too stinking cute. I'll link the supplies I use for this below, and I'll link her video, so please go check it out. I cannot wait to see what all you guys are making. Share with us what you're making. Give us some inspiration, because everybody's going to be looking, and every year the toughest is to make for boys, and I think this will work for a boy or a girl, and that way everybody will enjoy the cards they get. Thanks so much for participating in this. Be sure to watch that video. Don't miss it. And if you have any questions, you can ask Mel in her video comments, so make sure that's where you put your questions. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.